Hey Capricorn, this is Leah with Half Moon Tarot. I will be doing your March 2024 reading. I've already meditated over the cards and asked that Spirit bring whatever is necessary for you to hear, for you to know, expect, and be prepared for. So Capricorn, coming into March 2024, you're leading with the Ten of Wands, the Empress card, and the Wheel of Fortune. What I will say for you, Capricorn, is read the fine print. Okay, whatever it is, maybe you're signing a contract, maybe you're agreeing to something, make sure you know all the details. Make sure you know your role in this situation, okay? Because I believe whatever it is that you might be agreeing to is going to be more than you're actually speaking on. Okay, this could be someone that is agreeing to a higher role, but also expected to do the lesser role at the same time. So you are going to be doing two roles in once. That is indicated by the Empress card. Reading the fine print is indicated by the Ten of Wands. And the Ten of Wands really talks about like all of this work that we put in. And yes, it might be great work that we put in, but it's a lot of work. We're putting in a lot of work to something. It might be great on the back end, but this is more like, does it have purpose? Does all this work that I'm doing, does it really have a purpose? It might be great on the back end, but great for what? Right? Is it great for exposure? Because baby, I'm exposed, right? I need money, right? Is it great for the company, or is it great for me? Right. So we really have to examine what the greatness is that is going to be on the back end. If you need to renegotiate contracts, then renegotiate contracts, which is talked about in the Wheel of Fortune. Okay. Like that, like I said, the Empress card is a really big card in this reading because it indicates having to do two things at once, right? And what you don't want to happen is that you sign something and you agree to something that you didn't bargain for, and it starts to run you raggedy. Okay. You are, Capricorn, in a space of not having to do the grunt work. You've done it already. Don't sign something that's going to have you doing grunt work and the work that you really want to do. Okay. Like I said, the Wheel of Fortune talks about, like this. The Wheel of Fortune is talking about like it not really rolling out like you want it to, right? So again, really look at the fine print, right? And the Wheel of Fortune is like the negotiating. If you have to renegotiate, do that because you want it to be beneficial for you. Overall, you want the benefits to come back to you. And that's what the Wheel of Fortune is talking about. That renegotiating. You want it to roll out and be beneficial to you, Capricorn. Okay? We have the Seven of Cups, and the Seven of Cups talks about like it has twofold to it. Okay? If you're not reading the contracts properly and you end up signing on to something that is going to have you doing something that is going to run you raggedy, okay, you're not going to be fulfilled. But Leah, this is the perfect place. This is the perfect position, but it's not going to be the perfect work and you're not going to be fulfilled, right? Everything looks perfect on paper until you actually start doing the work, okay? Until you really read the verbiage of the paperwork and what it's asking you to do and make sure that it's something that is going to fulfill you, okay? On the other hand, the Seven of Cups talks about like at first you might feel like you are at an imbalance, okay? And that could be at first until you get your until you get your footing under you. Lord, your feeding. Don't tell nobody I said that, okay? Until you get your feet under you, it might feel like you're being pulled in several different directions. But if and only if you have negotiated that contract to be within your standards, will you get back on your feet and have it being something that is really going to fulfill you. Okay. And this might be for some of my Capricorns that are currently in this situation that didn't read the fine print, and you feel unsatisfied or dissatisfied with this position that you're in. Okay. And you might have to let this play out, especially if you're under contract. You might have to let this play out, but you'll never sign another contract like that again. And in that case, if that is the case, Capricorn, use it to your advantage. Use this lesson to your advantage. Okay. Whether you have to be creative within that contract in that position, or you start to learn more about a different position or a different way or a different perspective of this position that you've signed yourself into. There's always a space to learn, especially if it is going to lead you somewhere, which could also be the 10 of wands, right? I'm in this position. I signed this contract. I was too excited about what could be, and I wasn't really thinking about what it was, right? And now that I'm here, okay, I'm gonna take advantage of it. It is within the company that I want to work for, or it is within the space or the realm or the category of work that I want to do, right? So take advantage of it. Learn everything that you can about it so that you're never in this position again, okay? That brings us into the death card. The death card, it of course it talks about death and rebirth, right? Especially if you are in this position where you have signed a contract that you weren't necessarily looking at the fine print because you just trusted what they were saying, right? And that has happened to a lot of us. So that's nothing to be like defensive or offended about or anything like that. It's just now that we're in this space, use that Seven of Cups and that death card to your advantage. The death and the rebirth, right? You know what? I'll never do that again. That's the death. Let me learn everything that I need to know about this space. That's the rebirth, right? So now you're coming back, and you're coming back to be the best that you can be at this. Okay? I also think that with these three major arcanas, the death, the empress, and the wheel of fortune, with you, Capricorn, I believe that it is going to teach you versatility, compatibility, and adaptability. Okay. And you're going to do it in such a classic way that no one will ever know that you have a problem with the position that you are in life, whether that be in the workplace or at home, your friends, your families, any of that. It is like you have this plan on the back end that is going to propel you into the future. It is almost like, yeah, they think they got me, but they have no clue. They have no clue. Okay. Then we're coming into the Ten of Swords, Nine of Swords, Nine of Swords. Okay. And it talks about, it can talk about lack of sleep. Okay. It can talk about developing a slight insomnia. Okay. But just know that that all is for your benefit. So if this is happening to you, Capricorn, where you are finding yourself unable to sleep and it could be stress induced, use it to your advantage. Use it to start making your plays. Use it to start coming up with your plan, writing it out, making sure that you are taking inventory of all of the information that you need to know in order to, one, never be in this position again, but more importantly, to put you to the next level. Okay. If you haven't been in this position, you are in the stages of negotiation or renegotiation, don't lose sleep over something that you don't have. Okay? And it's easier to say than it's actually done, because you're going to stress about it. Oh my goodness, I shouldn't have gone that high, or I shouldn't have changed that in the contract. Ooh, I hope they accept it. I hope they don't read that part, you know. But just know that what is for you, right? And again, use that time that you aren't sleeping to your advantage. Use it to map out your next plan of action, right? Use it to map out what it is that you want to accomplish, what it is that you want to do. Okay. So, my only thing for you, Capricorn, this month is to read the fine print. And if you have to renegotiate, renegotiate. Do not steer clear of that. Don't give up on that part until you know, like, this just isn't going to work. No matter how much you want it, just know if you sign something knowing that it is not up to par with your standards, then the position won't be up to par with what it is that you're expecting out of it. And if you've already gotten yourself into that position, Capricorn, just know that you have the ability to turn these lemons into lemonade. It might take you a minute, right? This might be a slight setback, but you have the ability to turn it into lemonade, okay? All right, Capricorn, that has been your March 2024 reading. Drop down in the comments. Let me know if it resonates with you. Let me know if it's in alignment with where you are right now. And it doesn't necessarily have to be with money, you know. This could be with a whole lot of things that we bond ourselves into, right? Whether that be partnerships or relationships, contracts, whatever it is, we bond ourselves into things on a daily basis. So, if this aligns with you, let me know. If it doesn't, honey, it just don't apply. Okay. If it ain't working for you, then don't try to make it apply. But I will talk to you all next month. Be well.